Gira Day. It is the date, if I may ask. I wonder, just because some other day and some other day, but it is Mazingira Day in Kenya, and it is the date, the 10th of October, the year of our Lord 2025. Welcome to the leader, courtesy of the Evangelical Alliance of Kenya on Hope Media. My name is Edmund Mudibo. My vote, my choice, but is it? I wonder. There are those who say it's not those who vote that matter, but those who count the votes that matter. Very interesting topic today. Because we're going to explore the real power of the vote in shaping Kenya's destiny and whether citizens, especially young people, still believe that their vote truly counts. And with me in studio today, I'm very privileged to have with me, and I'll start with a lady because I'm getting some Mazingira points today. Wairimu Kamau J.
Yes.
You'll tell us what the J stands for. But she's an advocate, governance and leadership enthusiast, and also the chair of the youth committee at the Kenya Christian Professions Forum, that is KCPF. Karibu sana.
Yes, thank you.
And then another man who claims to be a Gen Z. We will know. He's known as Kevin Yoga. Kevin is the national coordinator, Evangelical Alliance of Kenya, EAK. He's also a youth empowerment champion and transformational leader. Karibu sana.
Thank you.
Thank you for sponsoring this show.
Thank you.
Hatungekuwa hapa kama haungekuwa.
And happy Mazingira Day.
Asante sana. So karibuni sana. Now, IEBC recently announced the return of the continuous voter registration after maybe 3 year hiatus. There's growing public distrust, truth be told, in IEBC, as with maybe everybody else. And then there's also a visible Gen Z voter apathy if numbers are anything to go by. Well, let's engage. Let's be hopeful. Let's be thought-provoking.
Yeah.
Let me ask, Madam Wairimu.
Yes.
What does J stand for?
The J stands for Juliet.
Juliet.
Yes.
Hey, Romeo and Juliet.
No.
There's no Romeo?
No.
Okay. All right. Okay. So, with the ladies, there's a time when it'd be my dress, my choice, my nini, my nini. But
Yes.
now, my vote, my choice. When you hear that phrase, what does that mean to you? Is it a declaration of power or is it a cry of frustration?
I think it is a collaboration of both, in that there's power in your vote. The reason why we vote is so that we can choose a leader that speaks on the values that we desire, and we are hopeful that they will do the work that we want them to do, even as an individual. It's also a cry of frustration because we have reached a point where we desire our leaders to actually do what they say they will do. And even in the voting itself, we see people go out in numbers and still get frustrated with these parties, political parties, fighting and having to go to court because a vote, that there's been misconduct and there's been this and that. And so it's both power because we want our voices to be heard, frustration because it needs to stop. We need to have elections without the drama of going to court afterwards.
Hey, with all the drama, now you're a lawyer. Nobody comes to court. Kazi yako itaisha.
Yes. We need that drama to stop because of misconduct. Mm-hmm. Let us go to court because of other issues, not because we see that a system has failed and it has been infringed. Let us go because we genuinely want something to be recounted, not because of a misconduct, but we just want to confirm it. Yes.
Indeed. And I love the part where you said system because, Kevin, as I come to you, is the system failing or is it designed to fail? In a sense here, because the system, that those who argue, is not broken, but it's designed to be broken because systems can work. Government can actually deliver and be very efficient.
Yeah.
But then, after years of disputed elections and public mistrust, do Kenyans truly believe their vote counts anymore? I'm hoping you voted by that.
Thank you, Edmond. I've been voting I've actually voted in all the elections under the Constitution 2010. But before I get to your question, you wished us a happy Mazingira Day.
Mm-hmm.
And as a Christian, this day reminds me of the creation care. And even as our people go out and as we talk about elections, we are talking about caring for what God has created. And you have challenged me as we were in the waiting lounge that we are now not growing trees. We have gone from growing trees to planting trees to growing trees. And you have encouraged us to do fruit trees. And I encourage young people outside there, please, go out and plant and grow a tree today and see it grow your age and pass it to the next generation. A system failing or they're designed to fail. They are both failing and they're also designed to fail. You know, in this country, I have seen government being so swift on matters. Within a very short time, during the unfortunate death of the MP of Kasipul, in just one day, we had apprehended all the culprits. You know, I loved the speed with which the government moved to actually arrest these people. And they were so accurate that they didn't just arrest and release. Everyone who was arrested, they had interest in this matter. And it was so fast. There was the same case, or nearly the same case, with the quarry, where bodies and body parts were found dumped there. The one who was arrested that was having these issues, was behind these issues, we were told that the guy disappeared. And recently, there is a $1 million tag on him that anyone who found him should be given the money. Meaning the government is telling us when it comes to that fella, they can't trace him. But when it comes to these other ones, they can be arrested within a day or two. When it comes to election, we are having a system where you have actually mentioned it rightly that the one who counts votes is more important than the one who votes. Yeah. Now, I want to take it to a notch higher. The one who announced the vote is the most important failure. In fact, for those who are campaigning or those who are looking for votes, you are encouraged to be close to the one who announced than the one who counts. Because whatever that failure will announce will have far much impact than the counting. We have been counting votes, Modibo, and when they get to Bomas of Kenya here, we get a different announcement.
Yes.
So we have to be very careful with the one who is announcing. And that person is the IEBC commissioner, as the IEBC chair, when it comes to a presidential vote. And as Kenyans and as young people, we are fixing our eyes and looking at them that this time round, we will count and we will also announce. And we hope, because we can count correctly, we hope that whatever we'll announce will be also what they will announce.
Yes. In
the announcement. And we are looking forward to that. We are ready and prepared to do that.
Indeed, because, and we've got our learned friend here, the good lady.
Yeah.
Elections, you know, the Mainaikiai case, where I think there was a declaration which confirmed that all elections start and end at the polling station. Not at Bomas. Bomas is symbolic. Bomas is Bomas is good. I don't even know if Bomas is still there. The last time I checked, there was something happening around there.
Yeah, they are.
Notwithstanding, as I come to you, Madam Wakili,
yes.
What does the promise of democracy feel broken to many citizens, especially the young? I mean, what is promise? What is democracy? What is broken? What's the young? What's expectation?
As a young person, we were talking about history. So when I sit and I study the history of my nation, and I look at the fight for independence, our ancestors fought. We had independence. Then comes land and division of property. And now, all of a sudden, we have enmity between parties and people who had come together in unity to fight for the same nation. Then we continue with political parties. Now we have one party. All of a sudden, again, people are fighting. We have multi-partyism. Then now with multi-partyism, we have tribalism. Then we have now this generation from, let's say, millennials, Gen Z, onwards, where we have not grown up in a country. We've grown up all together. I don't look at my friend and see a Luo, a Kamba, any tribe. I look at my friend and see my friend. I look at my friend and see someone who can help me in business. I look at another friend and I say, this is a politician. And so for us, democracy is we are all equal, but we all are gifted differently, okay? But now we are in a nation where the fathers, in church we say the fathers, the mothers, the fathers still want tribalism and all this. It's almost like we have royalty and people who must be on these seats and people who must say who sits on these seats. But for us, we want people who will work. If you have said that you want to be an MP, an MCA, a president, we don't really care about your background. We don't care if you went to school or not, but we want to see the qualities of a leader and of a leader who can fulfill the mandate that they say they will fulfill. And that is why we went to the streets. We did not go to the streets because we have nothing to do. We went to the streets because enough is enough. We cannot continue to vote on matters tribe, on matters who is royalty and who is not. We want people who will make this nation work. This nation is very rich. This nation has wealth. The millennials and the Gen Z, we come from a generation that is highly educated. So we are not short of hands that can govern. But why is it that we are consistently seeing the same incompetent people in the ballot? And why do we have to be divided in tribes and who has money, who does not have money, when we can do it on terms of competency?
It's interesting you say that because now we'll get into that historical and spiritual perspective. And Kevin, you are the pastor here.
Yeah.
I'd like to speak on Christian responsibility in nation building and how faith communities can reawaken civic participation. I mean, our learned sister here says, we, what you want. It presumes what you know what you want. And what you want is right for you. You can want all the wrong things that are not good for the rest of us. That notwithstanding, Kevin, Proverbs 29:2 says, when the righteous thrive, the people rejoice. So how does disengagement weaken moral accountability in leadership? And specifically, I'd like to ask you, can faith and politics coexist without corruption of either?
Thank you, Edmond. It is true that when the good people do not engage, the bad people get leeway so fast. Actually, someone said that bad people are elected by good people who do not want to take part, to participate. And mostly we find Christians are in the category of that good people, who at times they are threatened, they don't care, they feel it is politics is a dirty game. They don't want to present themselves to be elected. They don't want to elect those who have presented themselves. They don't want to support them. They leave them to go. Now, this country has enough Christians. We are not shortage. We have not of any shortage of Christians in this country. If statistics is anything to go with, we are more than 85% Christians in this country. As Evangelical Alliance of Kenya, we are the majority. Actually, the evangelicals are the majority Christians in this country. I want to admit that we have not played to our level. But we are getting into a time having Evangelical Alliance of Kenya having existed for 50 years. And now we are looking at the next 50 years. One of the key areas we are focusing on is governance. How do we ensure that we get the right people to lead this nation? And the problem that we have in this nation is on governance, on leaders. And Wairimu has rightly put it, that we get the same people who come and brag to us how the kind of experience they have. And you look at the experience they have and what they have achieved with that experience is only that they have been announced as winners. But you can't find anything. But now as Evangelical Alliance of Kenya, we are now going out with our governance commission and with the youth commission to now do civic education. And we have the capacity. Evangelical Alliance of Kenya has leadership from the national level, that is the board, to the ward level. And we are going out right now to do civic education. Tell our members how good governance looks like. Tell the young people why they need to participate. The evangelical youth, and we have quite a number of them, why they need to participate. Now, you can be involved in governance, in politics, without being contaminated. The Bible is full of politicians, and one of them being our Lord Jesus Christ. He was a leader. He was leading people, and that is basically politics. We see him lead without being contaminated. And now we can say he was fully God and fully man. Now, if you go to the Old Testament, people like Daniel, who served in different regimes, the only mistake Daniel made was to worship his God faithfully and to stand firm with the truth and with the word of God. Devotion to his God. That is the only mistake he made, and he had to pay a price for it. It is possible that if we are to follow the Bible that we read, the word of God that was given to us to guide us, we can have people go to the politics, people are elected, and they remain true to their calling to serve. It is possible.
It is possible.
It is very possible.
Now, Wairimu.
Yes.
You are chair of the youth committee at KCPF. By the way,
Yes.
just KCPF. KCPF ni nani, ni nini, mnafanya nini huko? youth committee chair.
Yes. So
What's your basic mandate? Because
yes.
as you do so, I'll ask whether Christians should view voting as a sacred duty, not just a civic one.
Yes.
Please.
Yes. So KCPF it's a forum for Christian professionals. So whatever profession that you are in, it has different committees. I'm part of the youth committee. So in the youth committee, we deal with basically what other committees deal with, but with the youth. So matters governance, matters family. Every other committee involves us in all that they do, so that the youth can also be mentored, so that whether it's governance, matters, family, religion, education, they get to mentor us and train us so that we can educate the rest on how to, as Christians, to participate, to actively participate in these different opportunities that we have to speak up in our nation. Yes, as it's a sacred duty as a Christian. As a Christian, I believe my vote matters. I have worn the shoes of not voting, and I know the main reason why most people do not vote is because when they check the ballot, they do not see a presidential candidate they desire. But then a year or two down the line, you're complaining about your MP, you're complaining about the MCA, you're asking where is the women rep and what is happening in this constituency, and it is your sacred duty. There's a verse that says that the Lord does not do anything without letting his prophets know. So as Christians, it means that as we are praying, as we are spending time with God, as we fellowship together, as we listen to these leaders bring their manifestos, we are checking for the values that are aligned to our Christian faith, values that will ensure that there's development in this nation. And so it's my sacred duty to vote, because as I am relying on the Holy Spirit, as I am relying on God to guide me and to show me this is the person you should vote for, this person is aligned to me, it will help me to ensure that my nation is getting the correct leaders. A good example is Daniel. Daniel realized that they have stayed in captivity longer than they should have. And that is when he went and he prayed, and the Lord revealed that there will come a king who will now release them, which was King Cyrus, you see. And so it is your civic duty, it is your sacred and civic duty as a Christian to vote. Being a Christian does not mean you should not involve yourself in politics. In fact, I believe that as a Christian, your silence will cost you more, even before the Lord, more than you being loud and being wrong. It's better to be wrong and be corrected than to be silent and the Lord to ask you, what did you do? Yes.
Now, having said that then, Bwana Preacher, are we praying for good leaders while refusing to register and vote? I mean, every other corner, we find a church.
Yeah.
Every other corner, between here and CBD,
Yeah.
I can assure you, I will count 10, 20, 30 churches, not necessarily big where we are at Sitam here. And again, by the way, church is 2 or 3 people.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, that's enough
Yeah.
to have that small group.
Yeah.
And you connect and engage.
Yeah.
But then we pray away for good leaders. We just pray for good leaders. Just pray for good leaders. Yet our congregation, maybe even some pastors, are not even registering to vote. Surely.
We are praying for good leaders. And we also aware that they are not coming from heaven. Our prayers are going up, but our leaders are not descending from heaven to come and lead us, and then they will go back once their time expires. They are here with us. IBC is projecting to register 6.3 million people. Majority of them are young people. In the recent data shows that the registration is not going very well. I'm not worried. It is just 2 weeks since this was launched. And they shouldn't put us under a lot of pressure, because where were they 2 years, 3 years, when they were to be doing this? It is actually almost 3 years since they closed continuous voter registration. So they shouldn't open it for 2 weeks and then begin to make noise that, oh, you people are not registering, people are registering. And there's a comment you made when we were in the waiting lounge that some of us do not even know where the IBC constituencies offices are.
Yes.
Young people are still finding their way. Where are the offices where we can register? They are still finding their way. So people are going to register. We will have 6.3 million minimum new registered voters. And these 6.3 million people will determine the next election. You know, Edmond, that the presidential election in 2022, the one who won overally had, was it 7 point?
The difference is less than 200.
7.1, they're about million. If we have our 6.3 people put their votes in one basket, and then we have a whole 8 million who didn't vote. who must vote this time around. And most of them are people with a payslip. They're young people who didn't vote last time, and they are prepared to vote. So I want to assure you that people have been enlightened. People are now aware that you have just few minutes in the ballot that will, a decision that will push you for 5 good years. And for you to get that few minutes, you must have a voter's card. You must register as a voter. Young people are vocal online. And some of them are even already asking, can we vote online? You know, there may be that provision, but you'll only vote when you register. So registration is key. And as I've said, I am not worried yet, because I have not gone back to my village to rally the young people. I'm planning. Over December holiday, I'll be rallying people in my village to go and vote. I will ask the IBC to move their camp from the constituency office, come to the field where there will be a tournament. We're already organizing a tournament for young people, and asking them to come with their IDs in December. They will come from the office where we don't know where the office is, come to the field and register for a whole week when we are doing a tournament for the village. So there are plans laid out all over the country to ensure that we register at least 6.3 million new voters who will shape the coming election. You know, you and I, Edmond, we have voted for some time. Of course, you voted a little more than more than myself.
Yes.
We have made mistakes. I have made mistakes during voting. We are now banking our hope, of course, in God, but also in this new crop of people. Can they take a lead now that they have shown us that you can go on the street and your voice be heard? They have shown us that people can be greeted. Yeah, people can be greeted. When they mess up, they can be greeted. Can they now take lead? Can they know that their vote count? That one vote is very important. And you have rightly put it that just slightly above 200,000 votes was the difference between the winner and the runners-up in the presidential election of 2022. That tells you one vote cast makes a big difference. One can win or lose with one vote. So every vote will count. And so anyone who has attained the age of registration needs to be registered. And another thought coming through my mind, and this has been said before, is there a way we can turn around our systems in Kenya so that as one gets their ID, they're also registered immediately as voters? What is the magic? Okay, what is the problem? Why should I take my vote in Huduma Center here, I take my ID in Huduma Center GPO just behind us here, and then I need to now take that ID and begin to look around, ask, where is the IBC office? There are so many IDs that have not been collected. Can we come up with a system where when these people go collecting their IDs, they're also registered immediately as voters? Because what we need for you to register as a voter is that identification card. Again, this is something that young people need to push, that the people registering voters need to be readily available where the IDs are collected.
I could feel your itching.
Yes.
Sindikiza.
You know, I would just like to add, you see, as the young people, contrary to speculations and rumors, we do not like to waste time. So we need IEBC to explain to us in transparency how their system works. What have they done to improve this system? I assure you, for the young people to register, for a young person to volunteer themselves, to stand under the scorching sun, to vote for someone, you know, they need to trust this system. They need to know that we don't need to, instead of, we need to prepare to vote because the system can be trusted. Otherwise, what we will do is we will still prepare to go back to the streets again. So IEBC needs to explain. Last night I was watching John CW. They were launching their block launch, and they were explaining it in a way that you understand what this system does. Why does IEBC wait for court proceedings to now start explaining to us, this is how this voting is done, this is how the transaction is done? If they can open that up, if they can explain to us how this system works and what they have done to ensure that we will not be sitting in our living rooms watching television for hours, listening to this party and this party arguing about who won and who did not win. That will help the young people to register more.
Yeah. Two things are coming through. In fact, I dare suggest it's not for IBC to can, to must.
Yes,
Yeah.
it
It's
must.
their mandate.
Sure.
I mean, they are employees.
Yeah, civic education is their mandate.
It's
Yes.
their mandate, legal mandate. Yeah,
Yes.
legal mandate. Having established that moral and spiritual framing where we would seek to turn voter apathy into a question of stewardship and justice, I come to you, and you alluded to trust and the IEBC conundrum,
Yes.
Madam Wakili,
Yes.
to give us that legal and governance lens as you look at rebuilding public confidence in electoral institutions and what transparency and accountability forms are needed at IBC. So I ask, does IBC deserve our trust, or must they first earn it?
They must earn it.
How?
They must earn it. I'll explain it this way. I think it's Article 21 of the Universal Declaration on Human Rights. Public participation is a human right. Public participation means that you have the right to be included, be involved in the decisions of your government. That being said, this involvement looks like our voice should matter more than the voice of those in the ballot, because we are going to employ them. When you go for an interview, you do not start telling that company, they may ask you questions, they may ask you what you expect, but those are just expectations. They are mere suggestions to them on what you expect from them. But they will make the ultimate decision on how much they pay you, on your job description and everything. So we are the ones who are making decisions on how these people in the ballot should behave and all that. That means that IEBC, who should they be protecting? Is it the ballot or us? It is us. So one, the civic education, it needs to start right away from even high school, even primary. We should be learning about electoral processes from a very young age. The second thing, they should not be waiting until this 11th hour. So now we have politicians arguing and roaming everywhere in the nation. Then we have IEBC is also here telling us, come and register. There are places mashinani, they do not have the access that we have, where we watch news every day, we know what is happening. Some of these people, as this confusion is happening, their IDs may be bought. They may be given identification cards that we do not know about. And all this confusion that is happening is, I want to say it's because of IEBC. They have to become an independent commission. They should not be protecting the ballot more than they protect the citizens who are going to select people in the ballot. So they should be doing a lot of civic education. I believe the IEBC should also involve the youth. Mm-hmm. The youth should somehow be part of that commission. We are the largest number in this nation. We are the ones who, at the moment, we understand the dynamics globally. And this world is becoming very digitized, okay? And if IEBC was to involve the youth, we would be able to share ideas that would make some of these things that are being made very complicated to be very simple. You spoke about online voting. That is very possible. It's possible for someone to be in South Africa and they are a Kenyan and for them to vote, okay? Without us being worried about connectivity and all these things. But now you see, there's a way that this commission is very rigid. They follow things with a very rigid mindset. And all this ends up where? At the courts again. At the courts again. And I know I am an advocate, but I find it is very unnecessary. Remember, again, taxpayer money is being used.
Landing at the courts, because as I come to you, Kevin, you'll find that the judicial system and the courts are there for all the right reasons, and we accept. There is the post-election disillusionment. How do we break this cycle of post-election disillusionment?
It is by doing things right, Edmund. If we can do, IBC can do their work as per the regulations, conduct elections according to the constitution provisions, we will not get to where we have always been. You always hear cases like register, issues with the register. They didn't clean the register well, integrity of the register.
Servers, passwords.
There's the whole issue of servers, where in just the recent election, we want the servers to be opened, and someone has to wake up to do where that they are still asleep. They will open the server when they wake up. I mean, why should we go through such? Can IBC prove to us that they can be trusted? Of course, we have never given them also a chance to prove it, because you can only prove it after conducting election, and then you stay in the office. Anytime they have conducted election, they're always on their way out. So there is no opportunity.
No proof.
No proof. So whether you prove it or not, you have actually left. But again, as citizens, we also are having a problem, Edmund. We are struggling from trust deficit, where we don't trust anyone. These guys have just come in and we're already suspecting them. Of course, there are connections. We can say the chair is connected to who, so you, father, brother-in-law. All those things are there, but they are Kenyans. I mean, they are Kenyans. They deserve to also give an opportunity to serve. This trust issue has also always led to the problems that comes after the elections, because we believe that it can only be true when I win. It cannot be true when the other person wins. Can we get to a level where we trust the people we have given the work, though we want them to earn it? Like now, we have 24 by-elections coming up. Can they prove it there that they can be trusted by ensuring that they conduct these by-elections fairly, fair enough that we will actually trust them with the whole country? This is like a friendly match, just to see whether they are really ready. Yes. And I've been taking keen interest in a number of these by-elections. Can they prove to us? I know they are looking for 1 billion, 1.046 billion to run this, which is already too much. I'm wondering what they want to buy.
In fact, as I come to you, Raymond, just pick it up from there.
Yes.
and engage you. You find the whole subject of trust comes into play here.
Yes.
And if citizens distrust the system, but still disengage, because that's intentional, that's their choice.
Yes.
They distrust, they disengage. Then who benefits from their silence?
No one is benefiting from the silence. Again, one of the beautiful things that we have in this democracy is we are able to approach Parliament and enact and bring a suggestion, and they will give us a process. And I believe the citizens may have a solution. However, these solutions must be welcomed and tabled into Parliament. I mean, if they're able to come up with these finance bills and what not, then we can be able to change the laws that govern elections, just to ensure there's accountability. Now, with disengagement and with the trust issues, again, a system that has failed over and over again. Trust issues and disengagement is one of the consequences of it. And so what we need now is solutions. We need to take a solution-based approach towards this. We need to find a solution where, like I said, IBC need to tell us now. Not then, they need to tell us now what they are doing. And if indeed there's an issue, they need to be transparent about it now, because solutions will be found. Solutions are there. But you see, for you to find a solution, you must speak up and say this is a problem that we have, so that we can solve that solution. Because we cannot truly blame the citizens for being disengaged. You can't blame them. Nobody wants to go and vote only to be told that there's a possibility that in your constituency votes were stolen, I don't know what was not counted, and you remember how you spent the whole day there waiting for your turn. No one wants that experience. I voted before, and it's I even remember, was it 2017 when there was Uhuru and Raila and they had to do another election. And you see, one side said, we know you'll steal, so we will, and they disengaged. And what happened? The other side just won like that. And we cannot blame them, because it's something that has been consistent. So I believe if the problems are solved now, before the election time, it will be such a help.
Indeed. Now, the Gen Zs, arguably the most educated, connected generations, but again, indifferent to voting. But that can still change, And within them, we've got the whole aspects of influencers. There's peer culture. There's digital activism.
Yes.
Yani Ken's on Twitter. Hey, if those guys decided on Mulika, you're in trouble.
Yeah, sure.
Even if you're the president of the US,
Yeah,
AOT can be on your case.
Yeah.
But they've also marshaled and channeled it for good. The other day, one of their own needed help.
Yeah.
And they decided within 1 hour, certainly within 1 day, 17 million raised.
Yes.
The university where the young man said he wanted to go, the VC made the right call. He said, I'm giving you scholarship.
Yeah.
Now he's a darling of the Gen Z.
Yeah.
And what I'm saying is the Gen Z can decide to make a difference, and they need to. So are they protesting through silence or surrendering power through apathy? I pose that question to you.
Edmond, you talked about, you asked a question about disengagement and who benefits. The enemy benefits when good people disengage. The enemy is the one who benefits. The same people, the mediocre people, who are, in real sense, are the minority. And they are so organized so that when the majority who needs to be served disengage, the minority organize themselves and benefit. And that is how this country is eaten up. Now, can we be able to call out these people and ensure that these same people, us who, or those of us who have been disengaged, are brought on board and are able to engage? The Gen Zs are, you've given them the right description. That is actually who they are. Them not engaging or running away is not really a protest. But again, we have not seen them run away. When you shoot them, they come. When you spray them, they fall down, rise up, and walk again towards the spray. So we have not seen them run away at any given time. And this time around, they are not going to run away.
Indeed, even as time is not on our side, I'm coming to you, Wairimu, here.
Yes.
Just half. 6.3 added on, 4.6 projection youth. Majority of the last who didn't even participate of the 8 million are definitely.
Yeah.
So, in terms of numbers, and numbers don't lie, numbers don't die, numbers tell a story. If half of Kenya's youth registered and voted, would the leadership landscape change overnight?
Definitely, people will go home. I say that
Will go home after?
unapologetically. Yeah. But what on break? People will go on break.
They'll go on break.
Yes.
Now, while at it, if you could then speak to just 1-2 practical steps that we can take today. You are closer to that bracket than those of us on this other side. How you can turn that digital activism into ballot action, because that's now action.
Yes. So the first thing is register as a voter. It's quite easy. You go to your polling station, you with your ID or with your passport, and you are registered. You get the voting slip that you don't really need when you come back. Just register as a voter. Whether or not you decide to vote, it is fine. But first, just register as a voter.
Start by registering.
Yeah, just start.
Because then
by
that shifts you
registering.
from being
At
on the menu.
on the fence.
On the
yeah.
menu. You now come
yeah.
at the table.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're not on the fence. You've registered as a voter and you will have a voice, because our voice needs to be both in the streets and also in the ballots.
And in terms of action, EAK, 900 plus para-church organizations,
Yeah.
50 million plus membership. And how do you encourage parents, pastors, teachers, mentors to inspire young Kenyans to register? And what are you going to do about it? You're already doing the civic education, but can you follow through and track and encourage registration in our churches where they are?
Your vote counts. And you need to know that that single vote makes a big difference. As Evangelical Alliance of Kenya, 15 million of us, we are encouraged to go out and prepare for the next general election, to shape this country. And I want to encourage us to register to vote where you live.
Yes, kindly.
One of the reasons why many people did not vote, 8 million people did not vote in the previous election, is because someone is a registered voter in Lela Primary School in East Asembo Ward, Rarieda constituency. And they have registered as voters there, but they live here in Nairobi. When it is time to vote,
They don't go.
there is no fare for them to go and vote. And so,
Then diaspora
kura imelala. I want to encourage people, everyone, please, register as a voter
where you live.
where you live. Change your vote where you live. Make
Yes.
a difference where you live.
Excellent.
This time round,
Yeah.
hakuna kura inalala.
Indeed, now, if not you, who? If not now, when? Now. You've made that clarion call to register the nearest IBC registration center, carry your ID, and register as a voter. Now, I'd like to give us a one-sentence wrap-up, as it were. Share, and I'll start with you, Wairimu.
Yes.
My hope for Kenya is ... one sentence.
My hope for Kenya, I think I just want to make a statement that change is coming. You will either fight it or prepare to be a part of it.
Kevin, my hope for Kenya is...
My hope for Kenya is active participation of every Kenyan. Making decisions, knowing that you are part of the consequences of that decision. If you withdraw, there is a consequence to it. If you participate, there is a consequence to it. So ensure that you take part in the critical decision making in this country by first registering as a voter, verifying that you are a voter for those who have been voting, and change your vote to where you live. And then, at the right time, vote.
Indeed, indeed. We are not even telling you who to vote for: half term, 1 term, 2 term, 3 term. That's your choice. What's important, register as a voter, because you can't change Kenya by complaining. You can only change it by voting. And my word to you is that your vote is your choice. Silence is surrender. We must rise, register, and redeem our nation's destiny. That has been the leader on Hope Media, courtesy of EAK. Parting shot from you?
My parting shot is kindly vote, register as a voter. The youth, we have a voice, and they will listen when we vote. Show up and vote.
What about you?
Numbers do not lie. When we show up in numbers, we speak louder than the enemy. And any voice that tells you that your vote do not count is a voice of the enemy. And I encourage young people to deal with such voices as the enemy of the people. And you know how to do it. Thank you.
Indeed. The topic was my vote, my choice, but is it? Yes, it is. But only if you decide to move, not to being on the menu, but at the table, because you'll do so by registering as a voter. The rest, well, it's up to you. It's your choice, because that is your vote. On the Leaders Show, we raise voices and shape values. My name is Edmund Mudibo. Let's tell a friend to tell a friend next time to tune in. And IBC, I know you're watching. We'll have you on this show. Stay well, stay safe, be blessed.